everyone, I'm Sunanda Narwani from Shri Guru Kripa Vidya Sankul, and today we are going to be learning a poem from the class 8th syllabus, When I Set Out for Lyonnesse. It's composed by Thomas Hardy. You heard me correct, it's Lyonnesse. It's not Lyonnesse, it's not Lyonnesse, it's Lyonnesse. So let's get started. So basically this poem is about a man who is working as a young apprentice architect. Apprentice means that he is new at his job, he is a novice, and he is sent to a parish, which is the lowest form of municipal government, which includes a church and a pastor or a priest. So basically he is sent to a parish to oversee and to supervise the restoration of a church. This poem is one of my favorites from the class 8 book because it just symbolizes optimism, curiosity, hope and perseverance in order to achieve your goals. If you have these 4 qualities, overcoming all the hurdles becomes really easy. So let's get started on this poet's journey. When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away, the rhyme was on the spray. So when this poem left to go to Lyonnesse, it was of course very far. Now this Lyonnesse is not a real place, it's actually a mythical place which is known as the birthplace of Sir Tristram. It's near Cornwall in southwest England. Some people believe it's actually a place which was submerged under the sea, and some people believe it's a mythical place. That means it does not exist in reality. So when the poet left for Lyonnesse, it was 100 miles away, it was very, very far, and there he was being sent to oversee the restoration or the renovation of a church. The rhyme was on the spray. Rhyme, the meaning is given over here, it is frost, a very thin layer of ice. So this thin layer of ice covered all the leaves on the branches of the trees. Spray means foliage. Foliage is nothing but your leaves on the branches of the trees. So of course all the trees were covered with a very thin layer of ice. And starlight lit my lonesomeness. So of course, as the poet was on his way to Lyonnesse, there was no companion with him. He was going on this journey alone. So his only companion was the light from the stars. And he was pretty lonely, but still he had some good company as his path was lit by the starlight. When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away. So he's repeating these 2 lines. The figure of speech here is repetition because he wants to emphasize that this place, Lyonnesse, where he was being sent, was really, really far away. As you can see, I've also mentioned the rhyme scheme over here, which is A, B, B, A, B. So let's mark it. A, B, B. Let's mark it here. A, and B. So you can see Lyonnesse in the first line rhymes with lonesomeness, and again Lyonnesse in the 5th line. Similarly, away, spray and away rhyme with each other. So this is the rhyme scheme of the entire poem. Let's move forward. What would bechance at Lyonnesse while I should sojourn there? It means that the poet was also not aware what exactly is going to happen to him once he reaches that place called Lyonnesse. Bechance, it means chance to happen. So he is not exactly sure of what is going to happen to him once he gets there. While I should sojourn there means while he is staying there. Sojourn means stay. So while he is staying there, he doesn't know what is going to happen to him. He has left everything to chance. No prophet durst declare, nor did the wisest wizard guess. So what exactly is going to become of him and what experiences he is going to go through, no prophet can dare to declare this. Durst means dared. Okay, so no prophet can declare this. Prophet is basically a person who is regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of will of God, who is just spreading the message of God from one place to another. So these are basically very spiritual people. So not even a spiritual person with the message of God can dare to declare or dare to announce what exactly is going to become of the poet at Lyonnesse. Again, the poet is repeating these 2 lines. What would bechance at Lyonnesse? Well, I should sojourn there, because he is extremely unsure of what he is going to experience once he gets there. Okay, moving forward. When I came back from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes, so now in the 3rd stanza, the poet has already come back to his hometown from his stay at Lyonnesse. He stayed there for quite a while, and when he comes back, What changes do people observe in him? They are detailed in this stanza. So the poet is saying, when I came back from Lyonnesse, with magic in my eyes, there was a glow in his eyes. What was the reason for that glow? Nobody knew, or nobody can dare to guess. But there was a definite glow, there was a definite shine in his eyes, all marked with mute surmise. Okay, so everybody was mute. All the people in his hometown were quiet. They were trying to guess why there was a glow in the poet's eyes, but they couldn't be sure as to hazard a guess. So they were all very quiet and they were just making random guesses as to why or what is the reason behind the glow in the poet's eyes. My radiance rare and fathomless. So he is saying that there was a glow on his face that was rare, that was very uncommon, that is not common. It was extraordinary and it was fathomless. Fathomless means something whose depth cannot be measured. So he is saying the glow was so extraordinary and so deep that people couldn't understand the reason behind it. When I came back from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes. Again, he is saying that he went through so many changes at that place called Lyonnesse that even he couldn't definitely say why there was a glow in his eyes, why there was a glow on his face, and people were also quite surprised by them. There was one other change that the poet went through that is not mentioned in the poem but in the introduction of the poem given by the poet, and that is people could see a piece of paper sticking out of the poet's coat pocket. Now that piece of paper, many believe that it was the first draft of this poem that the poet was going to compose. So there were two changes that occurred in the poet's life when he came back from Lyonnesse. One was, of course, the magic in his eyes, the shine in his eyes, and the other was the glow on his face. And people also noticed a piece of paper sticking out of his coat pocket. So this poem just tells you that before undertaking a journey, you can never be sure what is going to happen to you, what changes you are going to go through, what experiences you are going to overcome. So until and unless you actually go through a journey, you cannot be sure about anything. It is important to experience life and then come to a conclusion. So one should always be curious to know what exactly is going to become of him. One should have hope in the future. One should be very energetic, very enthusiastic about all the obstacles that he's going to encounter. And one should always have a lot of perseverance to overcome any kind of obstacle that comes in his way. That was the point, or that was the message that the poet wanted to deliver through this poem. I hope I was able to make the explanation of this poem a little bit easier for you. Thank you.